Hey everybody, it's Denise from Denise McDonald Fitness. Hope you're having an awesome day so far. Hey, I'm coming to you on my last segment of this series that I was trying to do this week to kind of share a little bit about how I made some changes to be fit and fab over 50. You know, a couple of years ago, I just made that commitment. I was actually, some of you guys know my story, but I had been invited to a Tony Horton event about 7 years ago, and I wasn't going to go. I just said, whatever. Who is this guy anyway? I'm not going to go. But, you know, I always say that was kind of my life-changing day, or, you know, the things that changed a lot for me. Like this week I talked to you guys about diet soda. That was the last day I had a Diet Coke, June 26, 2010. You know, that was big. I always remember the day. And, you know, I started doing the Himalayan salt and the water. I was really pushing the water and really getting into this community of people. But you know what? The biggest tip, I think the biggest thing that changed for me that day was I learned that, and I said it in the title here, you just have to show up every day. And I probably wasn't doing that. I was probably doing, 3 to 4 days a week. I might be running or going to the gym here and there, but I was really just winging it. And I think that was my frustration, was I wasn't seeing changes, and I was just like, hey, I'm working out and I'm doing all this stuff, but why isn't anything changing? And I just knew as I was getting to be, I was 49 then. And I was like, I'm going to be 50, so I better crank it up. Something's not right. And that's when I started making all these changes. And actually sometimes if you see when I say changing for good, that's what I said to Eddie. I said, I am stopping with this yo-yo dieting and exercising. I am changing for good. I know I needed to step out of my comfort zone and do something different. And that's, some of you guys know, that's when I started doing P90X. I was challenged to do that. And I think that's how the whole fitness thing started for me, where I just knew I had to, for me, I had to show up 5-6 days a week, minimum, to see results. But I just feel like that's really important. And I think people lack that. They don't show up as much as they should. So it just kind of worked for me. But I just like to encourage people. I think I didn't have a program. And I think I was just, I didn't have the tools. And I think, the Beachbody workouts that I do, it gives me a structure. It gives me a program. It gives me something to follow. So I'm not just winging it every day. And I think that was a missing piece for me. So now that's what I do, but I do mix it up. And I think a lot of people tend to do the same thing over and over, and they don't add that variety. And then sometimes you can get injured that way. I think doing something that you're going to integrate stretching for flexibility and, mixing in cardio, mixing in strength training, yoga, all those things just help you to have an overall fitness level. So, I think those are things that I just like to encourage people to just show up. Sometimes even if I know we're all really busy and you're oh, I can't possibly work out today. I just don't have the time. Do 10 minutes, do something, Hey, Eddie. Eddie's on. Eddie went to play hockey today. But yeah, I just do something. I take one day off a week. That's usually my rest day, and your body does need to rest. But I just encourage you to exercise. It's so good for you. You feel so much better when you do it. You feel even that sense of accomplishment. It's a mood elevator. You do feel better. You have to. There's no way you don't, right? So I encourage you guys to just show up every day, do a little bit. Sometimes if you don't know what to do, I have my on-demand on. I love on-demand because then I can just go in and see different workouts and just try something different. I always encourage people to just mix it up, right? All right, everybody. That's just kind of my, just what I wanted to say to everyone. I glad you followed me this week. Next week I'm going to do another series on this really awesome book that I read, and I want to share some of the excerpts with you guys next week. It's called Younger Next Year. If you've ever read it or not read it, I'll talk about it next week. But that was another book that kind of really changed the way I look at things as I age. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and my advice to you is just show up. Have a great day. Bye.